the navigation subsystem, we ran some tests with our first method of line sensing, and we determined it wasn't very effective. So we're switching to a camera-based method. Here's a demo of that. So we're just taking a basic color mask of the image, and blue is the line, black is the background, and we're gonna mount the camera directly overhead the line and then just sample points from the center of the image to get our sensor readings. For our simulation, we've now tracking error between straight and curved sections, since we're only harvesting asparagus during the straight section, so that's what we care about. Here you can see our error when there's no noise in the system. And then we're also tracking several types of noise. Here we were doing false positive noise in the sensor. So that's this grass, false negative noise in the sensor, which is this dirt, and then also actuation noise up here. And so here's a plot of successful runs. So successfully completing the line with various combinations of noise. And you can see we do quite well when there's low sensor noise. We can tolerate a lot of actuation noise. And then in terms of the sensor noise, we can tolerate up to almost 60% of the line covered in dirt, but only around 20% of the background area covered in grass.
So this week also for navigation, I was just helping David tune the PID control a little bit. So here's the output for that. Yeah, so basically as it's running, our next steps would be basically to make the second turn run a little smoother and also make it work for noise and other variables.
For the identification subsystem, we've started our webcam and chassis integration. So the chassis is mostly complete at this point, and we've been adjusting our webcam mount. Our initial mount is too high. The webcam could not see the base of the asparagus. So we've made some adjustments and are going to be making a new mount for that. Also, for our distance sensing, there was a mishap with our packages, and it seems like someone else took our distance sensor. So we're going to switch to the LiDAR distance sensors from the woodbots. And we've managed to desolder one of the LiDAR sensors from our woodbot, and we're starting to do the integration with that sensor.
Hi guys, so to talk about the chassis, most of our energy the last week has been focused on physically assembling the prototype in preparation for the demo, but for the product, progress has been made where the previous product CAD had the drivetrain added to it, so it's the wheels, it's incorporated into the chassis, so it needed redimensioning, and added in the sensors where it would go, where it would be mounted. And in the coming week, we should be focusing on, for the product, performing FEA and kind of integrating all the other subsystems and building the basket. So for the prototype, again, we've mostly been focusing on physically assembling it, and here's what it looks like right now. It's made of 2020 aluminum extrusions. We got acrylic printed L brackets, and the gantry sits over here. And now that the chassis is built, hopefully we can start some testing and system integration with everything else. Thank you.
For the gantry subsystem, this week we assembled and tested the Y-axis motion, which was pretty successful, but we did have some issues with vibration from the stepper motor, but we did end up resolving that just yesterday. Ended up switching out the driver and also running it at half step, and it kind of fixed the really loud vibration issues we had. But yeah, as you can see, it's running pretty smoothly. We also kind of fleshed out the wiring diagram for everything, for the entire prototype, basically including the 2 gantry motors and the actuator motors. And then for the product, we finalized some part selection. We're going with closed loop control because the homing procedure that is associated with the open loop control would add a couple minutes per row, which could add up to one or more hours across an entire acre. So we thought that that time save was worth the additional $1,000 or so, since it is well within our budget still. And just some next steps, we're going to continue manufacturing and assembly.
Oh,